up, Bad Larry's Commander Rico here with another video and another episode of Rico's Review, where I kind of go over, review this week's episode and tell my thoughts at the end. So it starts with Rico, and he finally doesn't have a helmet, like he always has on. He's talking to a hologram of Flack. Rico explains how he needs to meet with him so that way they have a combined force that's much better. Rico still feels even with their combined forces that it won't be enough to hold off the Empire. Rico tells Flack he has to go on a mission alone, and that it will gain him a certain ally, which in the droids. But yeah. So then Rico goes to Phantom and tells him how he needs to go and be in charge of a task force. Or how Rico's going to go get a task force, and how Phantom's going to be put in charge. Then Rico goes to gear up. Rico thinks to himself about how Phantom was a good soldier. And this is a nice thing because maybe we'll see future commanding in Phantom. I'll talk about that later. And then Rico, though, thought about what Sarge told him about Giles. And he realized that Giles was right about the assassin droid and everything and how they need to get them. So he decided to avenge Giles. And he says that Giles is dead, which I guess that kind of confirms it. Then Rico got 3 men together to take on his mission. They left in a small transport. The droids from Apollo were not there where they were last found. And in the clone in red, named Clocker, is also introduced. He has a little medic symbol on him. Hold on a second. Sorry, I had to cough there. Yeah. And then Rico found a new town and went to a bar. Rico asked a bar attendee named Sandra if she could help him. She was voiced by Carly, which that's an old meme. We'll get to that in a second. She thinks Rico is with the Empire and just doesn't have upgraded armor, and she calls she thought Rico's brigade was called Rico's Rebellion, Rebellion. But I thought that was really interesting. And then Rico asked her where the droids were, and she says that she wants his blaster in exchange for the information. And then we learn that Rico's blaster has a name, Bertha. I feel like I've heard this before, but maybe not. I know that's what they used to call their cannons. I think Big Bertha or something. Then Rico goes back to his men, and they ask him what he needed, or if he got what he needed. And Rico responds, what did it cost? And then Rico's like, everything. I'm like, okay, Thanos. So, and then, and with the, when he was handing over the blaster, it reminded me of, we'll get to that later. And then the locals end up calling the Empire on them. And then apparently their speeder was stolen too. And then Rico said how they should have locked the windows, and they kind of bantered on. I found this very funny how he's like, oh, we were talking and it just kind of escaped us. Blah, 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 blah. I found it really funny. Then we learn the sniper's name. He's already Winston. Good job, Bailey. Class act. And then at an Imperial base, a trooper approaches the Dutchman and tells him where Rico is. And Dutchman says to kill him because he's kind of fed up. He's just like, okay, I had fun. It's like when your dog is a toy and he's done playing with it. And then a Star Destroyer orbited over the planet of Kuat. And they kind of fired down, but it didn't hit the bar or anything. And then, Rico went in the bar already and joined up with Sandra, or kind of temporarily joined forces with Sandra and the townspeople. They had a big fight. The Empire had ended up with about a squad of troopers, maybe 8. And Rico, Clocker, and a random trooper escaped. Rip Winston. He was already Winston. And then Sandra escaped. I don't know why you didn't pull Winston back, but whatever. So now we're going to get to the points. So 1, Rico took off his helmet. I've been asking Daly to do this forever. He finally did it. I mean, probably not because I said anything, but because it's I guess, when in the Clone Wars, you always see them helmets off. Excuse me. Captain Rex about 50 of the time probably doesn't have a helmet on, especially in Rebels. And then Rico talks about how he respects Phantom, which I think we're going to be seeing Phantom as a new commander, like in place of potentially Flashpoint. He said that he always follows orders, even though, and does it well, and just is an overall good soldier. So I think we might be seeing Phantom and Whipper potentially as command, like a mechanic or something. Let's see who we have to replace. We have to replace Flashpoint. Here, we'll just go back. We have to replace Flashpoint, Boris. Who else has died? We had a lot of death. Yeah. And then Rico thinks Gal is dead, which that might be giving us a definitive answer. Because it seemed like in the last episode they were inferring that he was alive, but well, and I guess he isn't. He still might be. I don't know. I'm pretty sure he is though. And then Carly's returned because we haven't. I'm pretty sure she hasn't posted a video in a while. So the voice actor Carly, I'll explain the meme. You can check it out in Daily Memes and his old memes. So there was this meme kind of created by the community in a live stream where he talked about Carly and how he missed doing live streams with her. And everyone assumed like they were dating, even though she lives in like Canada or something. And yeah, so that's kind of how it formed. There are a few good memes about it. But I've watched a few of her videos. She's okay. Nowhere near Daily or Mighty's quality, but she's there. I haven't watched her in a long time. Then we have Rico's Toy Story reenactment. So if you saw Toy Story 3, you would know that Andy, the little boy who's going to college, had his Woody, and he was handing it off to Molly. And like he's like, well, I've had Woody a long time. He's my best pal. Like, and that's what Rico did with his gun Bertha. And then instead of her being like Molly, where she's like, oh, and she hugs it, she's like, well, it's mine now. That was funny. And then he did his Thanos response. They're like, his group's like, what did it cost? And what did it cost? He's like, everything. Oh, that was great. Amazing stuff going on. Yeah. Rico might be looking a little purple soon. But yeah. So, and then finally, I just kind of want to go over the new characters. So we have Phantom and Whipper, which we've known about for a few episodes. Winston, Clocker, Sandra, and Bertha. Well, Bertha's not really a character. We'll just say she is for now. So, Phantom and Whipper, I feel like they're going to be a good duo. We haven't seen as much of Whipper, but I think we're going to be seeing a command staff in them. Maybe a little armor upgrade. Winston, I think he's going to keep dead. Clocker, I think we're also going to see as a command trooper because he's kind of different looking. Bertha, or Lysandra, probably not going to see her again. Maybe we will. Maybe they'll be rounding up the townspeople or something, and Rico ends up saving her. I don't know. I don't think we're going to be seeing her again, especially considering we're 1 or 2 episodes away from the end. And Bertha, which I think he might have named that. I don't remember. I feel like I've heard it one more time, but maybe I didn't. But yeah, rip Bertha. Bertha's with another nasty lady. That's Carly. We have Winston, Sniper, F, the other random trooper, F, and yeah, we lost 2 Rico's Brigade troopers in this video. Probably the least amount of casualties since Sev and Rico's battle, where they tried to escape that planet. So that's always good. But yeah, I'm sorry, I'm really tired today. Amazing episode. This was definitely, these last 2 episodes have been good. I've really enjoyed these. Everything about them has been really good. So like, rate, comment, subscribe. Tell me what you want to see. I'm gonna really work really hard to get a second video up today. And aside from that, I'll see you guys in the next one. Check out this. I'll put the link in the description. Thank you for the footage daily. And we're approaching the end of the season. In between season, I think I'm going to be doing more Rico's alternates. And maybe I'll be doing like little fan fiction stories on each member. Check out my latest video on Captain Scrum. He's an interesting character. But aside from that, I hope you guys enjoyed. And I'll see you guys later.